Welcome to the House on Fire podcast. Our aim is to light a fire for Jesus in the homes of those who listen through encouragement and equipping. Let's partner together to advance the gospel in the next generation. I am your host, Lucas Jackson, and I am passionate about seeing more people on fire for Jesus. When you listen to the House on Fire podcast, you'll hear from people you can rub shoulders with every week at Bethel Church, because all of our guests are from our church family. These are people striving to love God, love others, and to serve the world. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on this episode. I'm glad to have Shawn Lind with us. Shawn, thanks for being on.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you. And just to kind of kick things off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your family? Even though technically your entire family, well, I guess your husband hasn't been on yet, but at least both your daughters have. So
yes. So Steve and I have been married for 29 years. We have been living in Fargo that entire time. We have two daughters. Abigail is studying for her master's in forensic science through GCU. She graduated from UND last year. And then Sophia is in her third year studying architecture at NDSU.
Yeah. And remind me, Steve travels all the time over India primarily, right?
He's in India a lot, twice a year. He is an electrical engineer and he works for John Deere.
Okay. Yeah. And he's been with them for
30 years.
Time.
I know.
Man.
I know.
Does he have coworkers that have been there that long too? Is that like a normalcy thing for?
Quite a few. There, as obviously a lot of them are kind of hitting that retirement age, but
sure, yeah.
It is a lot of the people he went in with, he's still working with. He started a very, very small company, and that they were acquired by John Deere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. That's awesome. What worship service do you normally attend in campus with your family?
We are at the Fargo campus. We attend the 9:00 service. And I know you're going to ask, but we sit in the lower left-hand corner front section.
Yes. When we were at the concert of the night, I was like, man, the Linds, they are committed even when they're here for non-church things.
Melissa walks by and says, "You even got your seats." Yeah. And we're like, we sure did.
I loved it. It was great.
We like that spot.
It's a good spot.
It is.
And yeah, I like it when people sit, because then you kind of know if they're there or not. It's really nice to know. Yeah.
It's when I sing in choir, and I will be looking for markers like, oh, good, they're here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. When did you become a believer?
I was 6.
6.
Yep. In the basement of the First Baptist Church in Minot, North Dakota at Awana.
Man.
Yeah. My mom always, we had a faith bringing, very, very strong faith background. So I knew about Jesus from a very young age, but that was the year that I do know.
That's awesome. So you haven't moved too far from home?
No, but we grew up in Minot, or the Minot area, and then moved over here when Steve and I got married.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever, I guess at this stage in your life, talked to the person that led you to the Lord?
No.
Do you remember who it was?
I remember her face.
Okay.
But I don't remember her name.
Okay. I just was curious. I'm curious to.
But it's those saints of the church. And it was, and of course, it's probably my age, but it was like she was an older lady. Yeah. And it was just like, I remember her being more of a grandma type figure.
Yeah.
Very consistent, always there. And I think that's always what I think about when I see people working with youth and with the children, where those familiar faces are so important.
Yes, it matters so much.
Yeah.
I hesitate when people want to serve like once a month. And it's not, there's not a place for that, but man, that consistency in folks' lives is, it's a game changer in so many ways. So.
It is. Well, then I think you also learn the children or the people you're working with, because then you know, this is a good behavior. This is a behavior I probably need to just excuse.
Yeah. Yeah. What areas do you find yourself serving here at Bethel?
Well, PowerFitness is one of my major ministries. The girls and I are leading a book club this semester.
Yes.
Yeah. That's been a lot of fun.
Let's do a shameless plug for that.
Sure. So we did a book club this semester for senior girls.
Yeah.
And we did the Jenny Allen book of Find Your People.
Yeah.
This was a book that Sophia was given before her at graduation from high school, and just found that it really helped prepare her for moving into that adult relationships.
Yeah.
And to be honest, after the girls read it, they're like, "Mom, I think you need to read the book." So it's been fun. It's been a good experience for us.
Yeah. And it's a topic that is needed like crazy. So
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to talk about like power fitness and God's calling, equipped for more. And so can you share a story, or just share the story of how power fitness kind of came to be, and even like what it is, you know?
Yep. Well, so this is going to be a long story.
That's okay.
So when I was invited over to come to Bethel by a friend, we were actually attending a different church at the time. And she said they're teaching there's a fitness class going on. It was called Body and Soul. And this is over 25 years ago. And the senior pastor's wife, Doug Anderson. Yeah. So his wife, Dawn, was teaching a class here in the gym. So I started attending that class. And it was huge. Like they had, I think, 4 to 6 classes a week. I mean, there was it was just so many people were there.
Yeah.
And so that was how it started. I'm actually going to go through the whole story. So then I'm attending this class, and as we were going through one of the new sessions, brand new set of songs, like it was day 1, Dawn tore her calf muscle.
Oh.
And so we're standing there, and she couldn't move.
Yeah. And
I felt prompted to like offer to stand on stage. Like you do it and she'll teach it. So then that's what I did. And then I ultimately ended up learning the routine. So 20 songs in a week, and then had to kind of flip my orientation so that the class could follow me.
Yeah.
And then Dawn sat on a stool and called the class.
Okay.
And then from there, it just evolved into me helping Dawn, and then Dawn and Doug left. So I took Body and Soul. And then as we kind of were doing that, Dawn's just like, I think you need to do it on your own. Just do your own thing. So then that's how Power Fitness came to be.
Okay.
Is that we just decided to branch out our own, pick our own playlist, and then we write routines or choreography to those songs.
Yeah. So like describe like what a class is like.
Yeah.
Because like everything you just said, the only reason I can picture it is because I see it on Tuesday and Thursday nights when I leave to go home, and I'm always like looking at the wall because I don't want to like make anybody like feel uncomfortable. Like hey guys, I don't want to get high fives and everybody,
That would be awesome. They love it.
I would. That's actually probably what I would normally do.
Yeah.
But.
Well, so Power Fitness is a series, like it's an hour of aerobics, of body weight training, weight training. We do like plyometrics, Pilates, like it's a mix of everything.
Yeah.
And basically it's just, it's funny because people are like, it's church basement aerobics. It's not. It's something you'd probably see in like a body pump.
Yeah.
Or, just any type of a HIIT type workout or high intensity workout. So that's what we do. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of fun. We do block you in here twice a week. So
it doesn't bother me at all.
Oh, good.
Now, are there aspects of it that are not natural strengths for you that you have to like, kind of, have had to like rely on the Lord for things,
All of it. So, so going back to stepping up on stage, that's not my thing. I am not somebody to stand in front of a group. Mm-hmm. I'm very much an introvert. In fact, doing like personality tests where you do like we'll just do the red, blue, green, and yellow. Yeah. So I'm blue, 100%. I'm analytical. Mm. That is that's just my sweet spot. The yellow or the fun, I didn't register. Like there was none. Mm. And in order to do this type of a role, you do have to be somewhat fun.
For sure. Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where I was not gifted in that regard.
Hmm.
And God had to kind of prepare my heart for it. So when I was standing in class one day, as Dawn was doing whatever the choreography was, I was just like, okay, when I teach this, I'm going to, and I had a thought of like teaching it.
Hmm.
Like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not, that was just a weird thought for me.
Yeah.
But I think it was God preparing my heart that I would be eventually stepping into that role.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So how many years have you been teaching this thing?
So I think I'm on 19 years.
Okay.
And then we did the national program, that Body and Soul program, for 2 years.
Oh, so that's like a national
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you have to pay dues, you have to do all these, kind of, and it was, I had to travel to Baltimore. Like there was training involved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There was like
Oh, yeah.
This is
So
pretty robust.
It really was. And then it was just expensive. It was something where it didn't make an economic sense.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, at that time we were an orphaned ministry as well. So we didn't have anybody in the leadership who owned us. We've now been under the women's ministry for probably 15 years.
Yeah.
So then, I've been teaching it for about 19 and then 17 where we've been writing our own choreography. Yeah. So I have 2 ladies who help me.
Okay.
And we each just take a block of music and we come together. And it's so fun to see what God will do with that, where we've picked very random songs and the choreography all works together. The songs all work together. It's just been really neat.
Yeah. How long will you use a song in the choreography?
Yeah.
Is that like every 6 weeks or a semester,
Yeah. So we used to do it just twice a year. So we'd do a set of songs for 4 months and then another set for 4. We do class during the natural school year.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I got a little tired of that, more around COVID, where I'm like, why am I throwing away all this work? Like these are songs that a lot of them I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So I started to do remixes.
Gotcha.
And so now we have this probably right now I have about, 20 different sets of routines, about up for 400 songs that we could be doing.
So is there how many songs, over the course of the hour? I mean, 5 minutes for a song?
Yeah. Anywhere from 15 to 20.
Okay.
And also
individual songs.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a lot to remember. Holy smokes.
It is. And so we've, and actually it used to be we'd memorize it. So it had to be full memory, especially when we were doing the national program. That's what they wanted us to do. But then part of my thing and again, this is God prompting it. This isn't about perfection.
Yeah.
And so I we all have call sheets up there, or that's what they're called, but they're just like the notes.
Yeah.
Or the outline of it. And I don't care if you make a mistake. It's funny. I think mistakes are hilarious. So it's so much fun just to kind of get in there. It makes them forget how hard they're working if we're having fun while we're doing it.
Yeah. Have you ever thought to record these? And
we do.
You do?
We have. Yeah. So we used to record every year.
Okay.
So twice a year we do our routines. And then during COVID, I actually put a bunch of videos out on some Google Drive or something.
Yeah.
And just 30-minute videos.
Yeah.
But with the changing of technology, I used to burn CDs for people and all that good stuff. And so now I need to probably get back into it because it's nice to have at home.
Yeah.
But there are so many opportunities just from Instagram, YouTube, you can find some really great content out there. You don't necessarily need my stuff.
But maybe they want to pull you up on YouTube.
Maybe.
Maybe they can yell at you then at home. Shawn,
Oh, we have a thing of hate text. So if I get a text, usually from my sister who does attend, where she's like, "What did you do? This is terrible." And so it's
the motions, or
just they're tired or they're sore afterwards, and they're this,
yeah.
And somebody's just like, "I'm not going to text you. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not happy."
Yeah. good.
That's my job. I'm like, if I haven't made you sad, then I haven't done what I need to be doing.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, that's awesome. What has this experience taught you about like God equipping those he's called? Because this obviously is something that you kind of fell into, so to speak.
Oh, yes.
So you weren't necessarily seeking it out. And so it seems as if kind of God placed this in front of you and you're like, okay, yeah, I'll do this. And it kind of just taken it.
Yep. This is truly a 5 minutes of obedience situation where I felt God saying, you step up, because nobody else was. But then now that I've stepped up, now what? And so I think that's one of those things where, God's equipped me in so many different ways where it's realizing this is not about me. Because part of Don's class, like I said, it was huge. There were so many people. Nobody knew me. And I'm not nobody's not naturally drawn to me. I'm not necessarily a warm, fuzzy kind of a personality.
I have never thought one time, man, that woman over there, she is, I'm staying away. I've never thought that.
I think part of it is like my family laughs when they were, it's this like being somebody who is encouraging and fun. I'm not necessarily going to be doing that.
Yeah.
But God has equipped me to do it.
Yeah.
I think, also realizing that this is not like the ladies who come, I've had to really lay down my pride. This isn't about me in any way. And just if there's 2 people there or if there's 30 people there, that's who God wants there to that day.
Yeah.
I think the other part of it is, God just kind of working in my life to remove some of those, I think barriers or boundaries I was putting up on myself. Like I'm not, like me telling you, I'm not a warm fuzzy, but I am. Like I can be. And I think that there's growth there.
Yeah.
I was probably choosing not to be that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which, I get it. Cause I tend to be a little bit more upbeat, maybe at work or when I'm with students or kids or whatever, but my normal demeanor, I guess, if I had a free day and I'm just chilling at home is a lot less than that, so I get it.
Yeah.
How have you seen like the dual purpose of the class, like both physical and spiritual kind of working together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with our class, it's all Christian artists. For the most part, you're going to hear it on one of the Christian stations or, and it could even be on secular because of some of the artists, their crossover. But it's an hour of worship. So no matter where you are, even if you're coming out of and by the way, this is a community group. So it's not just Bethel attendees.
Yeah.
It's probably half and half.
Yeah.
And so I don't always know where they're at spiritually. But there are plenty of times where I'm, there's some things where it's like whatever the Spirit moves you, just kind of like some of those little more silly type things.
Yeah.
But these songs, sometimes I'll feel led to call out like what the song is saying, or I always pray for them. And it's just, but you don't know the words that are the songs that God is picking, because I don't feel we pick them, that these are the songs that are intended for somebody. And so they're prayerfully picked, chosen, prayerfully used. That's the other thing is like, there'll be a song where I'll hear it on repeat. I'll open up, I'll get in my car, the song's on the radio. Okay, that's great. I leave, get back in my car, the song's on the radio. I'm like, what on earth? So then usually it takes me a minute to realize, oh, God wants me to use this one. And so but then usually then that song, I don't hear it again because, God has used it in the way he wants.
Yeah. So how does that work? Like, let's say, okay, you're like, okay, God, I get it. You want me to use this song. Is that like, how do you come up with the choreography for something?
Yeah.
That's not how I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if somebody had to be like, hey man, could you do this? I'd be like, yeah, let me look on some, I don't know, reels and then just copy and paste a bunch of random things together that, so how does that work for you?
Well, okay. So do you remember from Seinfeld, the Ellen dance?
I don't.
Okay. It's awful.
Okay.
But often that's how I feel like some of my choreography is. I'm like, what? Like, I have to use this song. I know I have to use it. This does not look good. And so usually it is prayer. Like, I'm not sure. And then it'll come. There's other songs where I turn it on and I've choreographed it in like minutes. I actually choreographed a song on the airplane once. And Sophie turned around and looked at me. She was like, like telling me no. She just did not want me doing it. So she knew it was so funny. She's like she can figure out what my moves might be. But I also have those two co-leaders where I can say, this song I think we need to use. My personal strength is doing the strength, more of that choreography.
Yeah.
The other two gals are really great at cardio. And so sometimes I'm like, I think it lends more to what you would do rather than what I would do.
Yeah.
So we just lean on each other for those situations.
That's awesome. Could you maybe share a story where somebody was impacted by PowerFitness, beyond just physical health?
Yeah, I have a number of them. One would be a gal that so we, again, have had these couple of co-teachers. I like to have somebody up on stage with me.
Yeah.
One of my gals went on maternity leave a number of years ago. And I asked one of the gals in the class if she would be interested. And I said, pray about it. And she's like, I don't need to pray about it. God already told me I was doing it. So I'm like, so there's that where she's in class and she's already been told, or God had already informed her. I think a couple of the other stories is there's a gal who just showed up, not from our church, saw it on the website, and I think she was in the class for about 9 years-ish, but she ended up going through pretty painful divorce and just a lot of things, and then she happily got remarried, and at her wedding they had things that were important to them. And her weights and her tennis shoes were on there. And it's just like,
cool.
Yeah. And so she's like, I don't think you understood what you meant to me, but it also helped her walk through a very dark path. Yeah. So I think there's also just a couple of people have said they've come back to their faith because of the class and the music and yeah.
Well, 9 years, holy smokes. I'm trying to think, is there anything I've ever done for 9 years?
I know.
I mean, I guess I've moved a few times, so I'm like, 9 years. That's awesome.
Well, and I think what's funny is like the two gals I work, like are lead with me, we've been working out together the entire time. So Carrie and I think it's almost the full 27 years. And then Janelle and I about 25. And so it's just like, but you don't put time around it until I do things like this. Yeah. And then you realize, oh, that's why we've got so many inside jokes and like a look. I know what that means. And yeah,
it is interesting. Like at the stage of life I'm at, like students, I had a student call me a grandpa at fall retreat the other day. And I was like, I'm not thinking very wholesome things right now about you. But then I was putting on my belt the other day and I was like, I've had this belt since like a sophomore in high school.
Yep.
And then I was with college students the other night and they were like, yeah, I was born in 2006. And I'm like, yeah, I graduated high school in 2006. Mm-hmm. So just, those things start to hit and in a good way, in a fun way. But but through that time, it didn't, I don't know. I guess you just kind of realize that it's there, I guess. I don't know. Just thinking about the time of things.
And I think it's just, that habit has been so good for us and just doing this for so long. But I think there's times where, to what you're saying, is you don't realize the span of time. Because even trying to go back and figure out, well, when did that happen? Yeah. It's really a little alarming to put such large numbers around it.
Well, we're all headed in that direction. Yeah. So what would you say, parallels do you see between like the physical training and like the spiritual growth? And you mentioned some of those with the stories, but because I would assume surely there's enough I don't know the fitness world very much, but there's surely a lot of things out there like this.
Oh, yes.
But are there a lot that maybe would claim that they would do both, but don't really? That may be an odd question to ask. because I just, I don't know. Like, I mean, I go to Family Wellness and I walk by this room where the music's always in. I'm like, man, those people are, I don't know if they're excited or mad, but they're getting after it,
Yeah. Well, actually, so I go to Family Wellness as well. And Steve and I, our date night is a cycling class.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
so what night is cycling?
Monday. We go to Monday.
Okay.
And it's angry music. Like some of it's just like the kind of, the more club town type sounds.
Yeah.
But it is, I don't walk out of there feeling completely edified. I'm just like, it was a good workout.
Yeah.
But I'm not in any way, I didn't worship during that time.
For sure.
But I also think, I had a point.
So just thinking about like the parallels between the physical and the spiritual, and surely there's plenty out there that would maybe say they do it or maybe they don't.
So with that one, there is like there are definite exercise influencers or people who have things that do have a Christian slant to it, or they're, but some of them tend to be, honestly, one of the ones that one of my daughters likes a lot. I don't enjoy how she does it. Gotcha. And so I think some of it is that there's a flavor to that where you can do it subtly. You can do it pretty like obvious that like, as you're doing this thing, I'm praying over that. Like, I think you have to kind of pick. It's a personal preference of what you enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool. Do you find where there's times where maybe like you lean away from the spiritual component and focus more on the physical, or vice versa? Or do you feel like I always struggle with the word balance because I don't know if anything is ever really balanced, but where, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think for this class, we're always coming at it from a spiritual perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that's ultimately like the moves we're doing. I think some of it is where I will feel led, you need a song that does, or you need to make sure we're working on X.
Yeah.
Like, for women, core strength, even just basic weight bearing type movements, because it's ultimately going to improve your bone density and cardiovascular health, all those things.
Yeah.
So it's more of, I feel that even though we're doing something that's very earthly, so we're doing whatever kind of planks or whatever it is, there's still that, it's being led from a spiritual place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think in some ways it's, for our class in particular, they are coming in knowing that this is it's a community of women who are interested in doing something better for themselves.
Yeah.
And I think hopefully they're hearing like more of the spiritual throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Even if it's my words. I know one of the gals, I was just like, Jesus will help you. Like, which I don't even remember saying, but it's just like, because it's not wrong.
Yeah.
Even if what we're doing in our class is hard, like I'm trying to make sure I'm giving them that feedback or that just hope that there is, God is there regardless of what it is, even if it's just a hard workout.
Yeah. Well, it's challenging me because I've never once thought going to the gym as a worshipful thing.
Really?
Yes. And so I'm just the whole time I'm pondering in my mind, not that I've thought of it as this like, sorry, did I say worldly thing or did I say spiritual thing? Sorry, I don't even remember what I just said. No,
you said spiritual. Like you've never like worship. Is what you said.
Yeah. I've never thought like I'm going to go worship while I'm at the gym. That's not a thought that I've had. I don't know. I need to ponder that.
That is interesting.
As I'm thinking about it, now I go there for the camaraderie because of the couple of guys that I work out with and so that I can eat whatever I want, kind of, So, but it's challenging me to think about what does it look like for that to be more worshipful? Yeah.
I think, so when I do go to the gym, if I'm there to like, and with AirPods in or whatever, It's most likely Christian music that I'm listening to. But that's also what I have done. That's been my discipline because back to your discipline question, that's part of what I'm doing, or I'm listening to a Christian podcast of some sort. There's something I'm trying to fuel myself, because I tend to I have other interests that are not spiritual, or uplifting. They're more like crime and things like, I love that stuff. Yeah. But that's not a good way for me to fill my mind. Yeah. I don't want to do crime. I like to kind of see how crimes are solved.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
that is interesting.
I'm just pondering it, because I usually don't listen. Because I usually go with other guys, so I'm usually not listening to anything, and we're usually chatting it up. I mean, I guess the conversations we have are really, spiritual and, discipleship oriented. Or jabbing each other, or poking at each other,
Well, but that also goes back to what I was saying with my co-teachers. It's like, there are these inside jokes, there's things, or if, somebody makes a mistake, it's hilarious, but I think that's the same type of level that we're at, where but I'm still praying for them. I'm still like, it's, just like you're saying with your guy friends, it's the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm challenged here, which is good. So I appreciate it. What encouragement would you give to somebody who feels unqualified or hesitant to step into God's calling? And obviously yours has looked different than maybe many others or whatever, but how would you encourage somebody?
I think I will go back to that 5 minutes of obedience, where it's just, you just see, like, you don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Me stepping on that stage to help, with heavy air quotes, ended up being over 19 years, almost 20 years of doing this. I had no intention or thought that this would be the outcome. It hasn't always been easy, but it's also one of those things where I feel fully prepared by God on this one, where, there have been a number of challenges that have popped up, but I've never had to worry about it, because I know that this is where what God wants for this community, but he also wants it to be led. And in some ways, it's also like, I'm open. I think Sophia would be really great at doing it. She doesn't think she would, but we've got to train up who comes up next, because this isn't something I'll always do. Yeah. But you never know.
Yeah. No, I love it. If you could leave the listeners with kind of one key reminder about trusting God's call, what would it be?
Let's see. It's like, obedience can be scary. But we need to lean into it, and we'll see that the blessing is greater than the fear. I actually happened to listen to a podcast where it was, her name is Bailey Ray Christopel, I think her name is. She's a CrossFit athlete, and she was saying, if we say no, we don't allow God's power to work through us. And I think it's just working through that, because sometimes being scared is kind of the better place to be. Because if I had gone into this feeling like I knew all the answers, I'd have been very disappointed, because it didn't really turn out the way I probably would have planned it. It's way better. Yeah. And then also just start small. Like, you don't know what doors are going to open where, literally when I first started this, I had a friend of mine say, like, something about, I told him I was going to start teaching it. And she's like, oh, I should come, just kind of basically because she thought it'd be funny. And she didn't think I'd do very well.
Oh my.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, there's no pride here. So I have to make sure that doesn't, and I think, but making sure that you're just, but if I had let that discourage me from moving forward, I would have missed out on the blessing. The class isn't blessed because of me. God does all that. Like, that has nothing to do with me. I'm a vessel, but this has been such a great experience for me. But also showed me that I have a lot more leadership skills than I thought I did. I'm more fun than I thought I would be. Because who wants to stand in front of a room and tell people to do jumping jacks? Like, that's not an easy task.
For sure. Yeah, I would agree. I love it. How can we, myself and those listening, how can we be praying for you in the season of life that you're in?
Oh, I think there's always the season of discontent at times where it's just something's going to change. We're kind of nearing that whole empty nest, kind of half nest situation, but also just as life goes on, what are we supposed to be doing? And I think sometimes it's making sure I stay prayerful in that rather than trying to solve it on my own.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Shawn, thanks so much. This was great. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the House on Fire podcast. Our prayer is that this podcast activates your home for Jesus. May the light of Christ burn bright through you and yours. Until next time.